Good afternoon, everyone, once again, and thank you for joining us today. Welcome to our virtual webinar session on the return of investments on cyber education and the why cyber awareness training saves money and time. My name is Linda from Exxon Solutions, and I'll be your host for today's webinar. So most of us, if not all of us here, knows that it's no longer a news that people are the weakest link in cybersecurity. People, anybody, humans, are the weakest link in cybersecurity to date. How? Regardless of the tools or security system in place in your organization, I want to let us know that technology alone cannot protect us. Technology can just guard the walls, but what about the gates? Even with the most advanced security technologies, no matter how strong our digital defenses are, when the people in the organization, I mean everyone, because being cyber aware is not left only for the IT personnel, no. When the people in the organization like the HR, the sales team, the marketers, and even the managers, those people who open messages, download documents, and click on links every day, when they are not aware, when they cannot be able to identify and report even the slightest form of cyber attack, it means they are vulnerable and can become a very big target of cyber attack to the organization. And that brings us to why we are here. To show you how being aware and being cyber conscious can help organizations like yours, irrespective of the industry, be it manufacturing, be it education, be it healthcare, so long as they make use of digital tools, how being cyber aware can help organizations prevent huge costs of damages and the exposition of data to the wrong people or the wrong places. So a few quick notes before we continue. This session is being recorded, and if you have any question during the course of this webinar, you can easily drop your question at the Q&A box here. Then it will be addressed at the due time. Now, let me introduce the speakers for today without wasting much of our time. Our first speaker for today is Christiana Nwachukwu, a cybersecurity sales specialist at Exxon Solutions, who will start off with a powerful session on how cybersecurity starts with people and how we can turn awareness into ROI, return on investment. Then after that, we hear from Benjamin Okole from Kaspersky, who will be speaking on turning awareness to action and also building a cyber resilient organization. So with that, it's my pleasure to hand over to our first speaker, Christiana Nwachukwu. Over to you, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Christiana Nwachukwu, and I'm welcome everybody to today's webinar. I'll be talking about how cybersecurity starts with people, turning awareness into ROI. So I'm about to share my slides. Just give me some time to share my slides. Okay. Okay, so my topic, like I said, is cybersecurity starts with people and how turning awareness as an asset into ROI. For the next slide I'm going to be talking about, I came up with 4 components on how awareness training matters to everybody and also the organization. Now, setting the stage, technology alone can't stop cyber threats. I'm sure most of us have EDRs in place in our organizations, but technology alone cannot stop it. 90% of breaches start with human error, and also our measurable ROI and how organizations saves money. In my next slide, I'm talking about how did employees cause influence in the organizations. The first one, it says that our employees mostly sometimes download malicious files because they don't know where it's coming from. They might get an email saying, oh, you need to download this file to get this, and 28% people always end up clicking. The next one is on weak and unchanged password. Most of our passwords are very weak, and we tend to not to change our password. And it's advisable we change our password at the cost of every time we change password because of how hackers we get into the system. The next one is unsecured websites. Visiting unsecured websites, I'm sure in some organizations we have policies guiding us on the websites we should visit, but sometimes some organizations don't have that policy in place. So unsecured websites can cause damage into the organization. And that one is unauthorized data sharing system. When we don't have a good way of sharing data in the company or in the organization, we tend to welcome hackers into the organization because we don't have a way to share data and we don't know who is watching. So 24% of this causes incidents in the organization. Another one again, which is mostly and popularly known, is phishing. Phishing, 21% of individuals causes harm into the organization when they see a phishing email without knowing how to respond. They might click on the file attached or any attachment they see, they click on it. It causes a lot of damage in the organization. And that one is when you don't update your system. Updating your system is a very good way of preventing harm in the organization. So they need to be updating their systems regularly. Another one is unauthorized devices. When we take an unauthorized device into the industry, into the network of the organization, it causes damage in the organization also. In my how technology alone can't stop every cyber threat. And that says that firewalls and EDR stop stress, but not all. That's where humans come in place. Hackers know the easiest way isn't through machines, it is through people. And one phishing email through social engineering can slip past any system, causing damage in the organization. So whether we have firewalls, we have EDRs in place, we have SDR in place, if the humans don't know what to do, it causes a lot of damage. There was a story about a person, a very notorious fraudulent person. I don't know if it Obiwani Okeke, that's his name. He used phishing emails to impersonate vendors, suppliers, invoices, and gain access to login credentials. This impersonation resulted to a fraudulent transfer up to the $11 million. He is currently in prison now. He's still in prison. This happened in the US. He used to use emails to impersonate vendors and suppliers and tell them, oh, they need to send some credentials to him and everything. And that's how he got up to $11 million from that, which shows that a vivid example that human targeted deception can bypass many technical defenses. And that's because of our employees needs to be equipped enough to know that this is fake and this is real. Then the next one is how most breaches starts with human error. Most breaches come from human mistakes, like clicking phishing links or using weak password, like I've already explained. That we need to be able to know that, oh, we need to change our passwords. We need to know the links we are clicking when we see emails that are not verified or that we don't know anything about it, and we see that, oh, this email doesn't look well, it looks suspicious. We need to be able to know that we need to report, because hackers exploit people because it's easier to break. It's easier than breaking into systems. Humans are very, very easy to break into systems than come and break systems. The human beings are the ones who are there to break systems. And I'm talking about a story of MGM research ransomware attack that happened through a link, like a LinkedIn. The person impersonated the help desk in the organization, observed the person in the organization, observed the employee, then impersonated the employee in the organization and tricked that person through engineering the code that, oh, I needed to do something, I need to do something, you need to send me this, you need to send me that. The person did not know that, oh, that person was being impersonated. And he said everything to them, which made them shut down for a very long time because it was a single woman error led to a massive downtime and millions in losses, so that people can be the weakest link. Humans can be the weakest link. That's why we need to be able to equip our employees to know that anything can happen. But if they don't have the idea or know how to fight back, they will make the organization have a lot of damages and losses financially. The next one is about how a measurable ROI from awareness training. I'm sure we all know what ROI is, which is the return of investments. So training our staffs is like we are investing in the organization with them knowing how to handle attacks or them knowing how to handle phishing emails when they see it. Because cyber awareness training gives a clear return of investment. Because the money you spend on training is far less than the money you save by avoiding breaches. So we need to know that we have to train our staff so that they can be able to fight about attacks. EDRs will do its own, firewalls will do their own, but humans have to do their own because they need to know how to fight back. Then I'm talking about what you invest when you do this. What you invest is just the cost of care sub license, that's subscription, few hours of employees' time for training. The platform has given us it's well stated that you can take it anytime you want to take it from the time. Even the HR and the IT manager can be able to review reports. It doesn't like they can report and know what's happening, where this person is getting it wrong, and also know what to do. And what you get in return is avoiding breach recovery costs, avoiding downtime that can stop business operations, avoiding fines from regulators. I'm sure we know NDPR in Nigeria and GDPR globally. These are regulators that guide every organization in cybersecurity, that there must be a cybersecurity posture in every organization. Protecting company reputation and customers' trust. We need to be able to protect our customers' trust and also the reputation of our organization. I'll talk about a real life event that happened in a global insurance company around the phishing simulation before and after awareness training. Initially, 40% of the employees clicked wiki links, but after implementing KSAP, this dropped to 8% because they knew that there are topics that guide us on that platform, on topics on email, topics on password and accounts, website and the internet, social media, messenger, PC security, mobile devices, confidential data, personal data, GDPR, physical data security, industrial security, but even bank card security. All these topics are embedded in that platform that we able to know, oh, this is what you do when you see this kind of thing. It also even corrects you because there's also a phishing simulation attack that after you've trained, you have to go through this phishing simulation attack to know, oh, I've learned this and I've not learned this. So the investment is annual KSAP license and minimal training time, and the return reduce phishing risks by 80%, saving the company millions in potential cost and downtime. Now I'm going to be talking about how organizations save money when employees are cyber aware. Awareness training reduces risks by teaching staff how to recognize suspicious emails, use strong password, and report threats early. So once we see something that is not right, we're able to know, oh, we need to report this. We need to know how to make our password strong. We need to also know how to observe emails that are not right. Because people impersonate, they can impersonate the MD, the CEO, telling you to send money, or they might tell the financial department, send some money, I'm the MD, I'm the CEO. But if they don't know that this is wrong, they will do it. But if they are trained, if they are aware, they can be able to know that, oh, I'll report this. So preventing one breach can save millions in recovery costs, fines, and reputational damage. There's a real life event, it's a real life event. It happened in Nigeria here. A senior IT support engineer in a bank noticed a suspicious fund transfer request for 2 million naira. The request seemed normal because it looked like, oh, maybe this is just a normal thing. But the long entries showed an anomaly. So I'm sure maybe I observed the IPs were not working normal, or the IP address was looking different. So he flagged it. The transaction was confirmed fraudulent. The bank did not lose the money. He leveraged the situation into improving the system detection of such anomalies. So he observed whatever the person was trying to do, that they changed the IP address, and he knew that he was a senior support IT system engineer, but because of he knows more, he's aware, he has trained more, he was able to observe that this is wrong and reported it and flagged it, and they saved money in that scenario. So I'm going to be talking about why KSAP is the best fit for this training. It has ready-to-use modules, no heavy IT setup. The workspace is very easy, very gamified, very interesting. You have a lot to learn, you have to see, and the IT person isn't going to stress because he's going to be working with the HR person in this and that's why it's very, very ready to use. It covers phishing, password safety, and ransom, and many more. Like I've already stated, there are so many topics it covers. It covers password, websites and internet, social media, messengers, PC security, mobile devices, confidential data, a lot of topics that it covers. It also has engaging simulations that make lessons stick. So after the training, there's always a stimulation after the training that can show, oh, what you've learned. Are you going to fall for this? Are you not going to fall for this? So the simulations are very engaging, and it's very easy for you to stick into the person. It also provides the team with reports and metrics on employees' progress. Like I said, the HR, the IT person in the organization is going to enjoy this too, because once they are seeing that, oh, this employee is doing well, is going through the lessons, going through the training, you see how that employee is well versatile and well learned. So you can even use that report. Oh, you can even use it as an appraisal for your employee, because being cybersecurity cyber aware is really, really what is happening and the trend going on around the world right now. And I'm going to say a story of what happened to me in the organization. And then just let me give the next slide, talk about my story. So during the CyberX Summit, I'm sure most of us here attended CyberX Summit. I was having a time on my own. I was just going through, I was preparing. It was 2 days before the event. And I was just glancing through my system. And I just saw a mail from Kaspersky, especially Kaspersky. My IC admin used Kaspersky to want to know or test me. So it just said, oh, that the event has been cancelled. I was like, cancelled? At what time? 2 days to the event. How can you cancel my event? I was like worried. I was thinking. I wanted to even cry because I was so sad that how will I see this email of them wanting to cancel my event? So I just had to like take a deep breath and had to call the IT department that please, this is what's happening. Oh, is this real? Can you help me check the email domain? Where is this coming from? Is this real? And I observed something again, that the address they used was not the same address I was trying to use. So that's why I was so skeptical and I had to like think critically to avoid. So when I called the IT department, they told me, oh, Christy, you tried, you did well. This was a phishing simulation and you did not fall. So that's how I got over that and I passed through that. And I knew that, oh, this training was helping me to stay calm, to think critically and avoid anything that can make me fall for it. So in conclusion, cybersecurity isn't just about firewalls and software. It's about people making the right decisions. And with KSAP in organizations, they save their money, they save their time, and they build a resilient workforce. People matter, and awareness is protection. So there's a QR code I'm going to be showing now that if you want to book a POV, like a demo session to know more about this, you can scan this QR code and we can talk and have a conversation with you to show you how KSAP works and how you can enjoy. If I'm giving a proof of value for 30 days proof of value, no matter the users you want, whether 100 users, 250, we can accommodate and we'll work with you so you can see the value of this platform. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you. I'm going to be welcoming Benjamin to talk more on this. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Christiana. Good afternoon, everyone. How are we all doing? I'm guessing it might be difficult to speak, but please feel free to use the chat. I believe that's still active. But yeah, my name is Benjamin Okolie, pre-sales manager for Kaspersky, supporting the Western African market. And it's an absolute pleasure to be here today. I do want to take this opportunity to thank the Exxon team for setting this up. That's really great, and good to have everyone here. So yeah, as mentioned, we will be maybe going a bit deeper into ASAP, right? I'm just going to share my screen briefly, turn off my camera. The camera also, we put a face to the name, so Just in case you see me outside, you know I'm the one. Okay. So as Christiana mentioned, right, the need for awareness, and I believe a lot of organizations are starting to see the need as well. We're looking at a lot of financial loss just from some carelessness from the user, or maybe even ignorance being the better term. Someone just randomly clicking on something, or just exposing or giving access where access shouldn't be given, things like that. And the next question then becomes, how can we efficiently pass the knowledge? I think with passing knowledge, it's not so straightforward. There's two people involved. Well, there's two parties involved in terms of passing the knowledge. One would be yourself, being the person to pass the knowledge, and then the other party will be the receivers of this said knowledge. Now, we can't dictate the knowledge level of these said receivers of knowledge, the second party. Since we can't dictate it, how do we prepare the content to appeal to these users? If I do something too complicated or too complex, I lose the users with base level knowledge. If I go something too elementary or too beginner level, I lose the more advanced users. And so ultimately, my heart is in the right place. My intentions are clear, but I'm not necessarily delivering the knowledge optimally. And so after considering all of this on Kaspersky side, we created ASAP, the Kaspersky Automated Security Awareness Platform. The story behind it is simple, right? We'll hop right into it quickly. It's an automated security awareness training management platform. And so the goal is to make the lives of the admins easy, easier, right? To make lives of the admin easier and also deliver the content to the end users. So it's a part of our awareness training portfolio. We do have some other interesting things, so some more advanced cybersecurity trainings, or even expert trainings, even as a part of our portfolio. But today we focus on ASA. So we're able to provide user management, allowing us to integrate with the Active Directory. Very easily, we can bring users onto the platform, or even just use an Excel document even. It's really straightforward. So bring users onto the platform very easily. And then the platform's library is divided into units. Now, these units have different study topics and different difficulty levels. Now, all of this to cater to that challenge I spoke about earlier. When we have when we're supposed to educate users or show someone something, teach someone something, I don't know where their current their current knowledge level is. So if I guess if the easiest example is lesson teachers back in the day, when we were all in secondary school, if the teacher is trying to teach the whole class, he has to, or he or she has to adopt one style of the delivery. It will try to pass the message one way or the other. So some people might be lost, some people might follow, who knows, right? But he can only do that one thing. However, those that then have the lesson teachers have this one person, and the lesson teacher is like 1v1. So the lesson teacher can decide, right, this is this person's current knowledge level. And so it's easier for me to start from this current knowledge level and progress. It's really a bit more difficult to replicate in the organization or in organizations considering the size. And so we're able to somewhat achieve it here, right? Because we have different difficulty levels, we can create training groups. And this brings us to the next part, the ability to flexibly manage training content for user groups. So we can have users in different groups and understand the knowledge levels, average knowledge level of the users in that group. So if I have the group of my marketing, I can maybe give them some beginner level or elementary level content, and then scale all the way up in terms of security awareness, right? But for maybe the service desk guys or support guys, maybe my expectation from them is much higher. And so I can take it up a notch and say intermediate as the knowledge level. But this is that granularity in terms of control that the platform gives us. Now we're also looking at real-time user training progress. So we're not just providing the user perspective, but also the admin perspective. Whilst you're delivering the content, you want to be able to monitor as well. You want to be able to track user progress. So I could say, this user has made this progress, this user is on track, this user is behind schedule. I need that as well as the admins. We all need that. And so we're able to do that, providing detailed reports as well to drill down to the individual user level. Pick out an individual, get what is happening with that user, even follow up, right? And this is where we see a lot of participation from HR as well. And so in a bid to foster some participation, people are even able to leverage on the data or the reports from the platform to tie it to performance, to tie it to appraisals, right? And this is a very strong way to get some more people participating in awareness. Everyone needs to understand that security is everyone's responsibility in the organization. Some people probably have a higher responsibility, but it is still ultimately everyone's responsibility. And we need to ensure we're driving it in some way, shape, or form. We have notifications via emails and also customization of lessons to comply with maybe organization, internal policies, or certain standards. We're also building our content not off of 25 years of experience, but rather 28 plus years now. Kaspersky is over 28 years, and we're building our content based off of the number of years of experience in security, which means we are not including any unnecessary learning modules. We're going straight to the point, providing relevant skills only. The training is carried out 1 unit at a time. It's very important for us to not flood our users. And I'll explain something a bit further why we're carrying out or using this approach. Each unit has several lessons, and they last between 5 to 15 minutes each. And then the learning is reinforced by not just tests, but simulated phishing attacks as a part of the training plan. And not just that as well, reinforcement emails. So we keep on passing the message until it sticks. Now, the content offering from ASAP is split into 3 key modules: the main course, the express course, and the phishing simulator. Sorry, one sec. Okay, this is it. Okay, so the main course, the express course, and the phishing simulator. Now on the main course side, this is where we have the comprehensive awareness training with multiple topics divided into multiple complexity levels. So from beginner to advanced, practical lessons, the reinforcements, tests, phishing simulations, all as a part of that one content, one main course. But the truth is, in certain cases, there's the need for us to assign much shorter content to users, fast content. We don't want them to spend too much time on a whole plan. We just want to pass knowledge very quickly on something. Now, for example, someone clicks on something or someone exposes some information on social media, maybe some organizational information, maybe unknowingly. We want to pass a message very quickly to this user. We can just use an express course. So it's still providing the same essential awareness training, but this is short, highly engaging training in audio video format, and it's suitable for periodically refreshing existing knowledge, or even in certain cases, just passing the knowledge one more time in a case where someone may have faltered, right? Again, it's all up to the admin to decide the approach, but the options are available. And last but not the least, we then have this phishing simulator standalone. Now, as a part of the main course, there are simulated phishing attacks part of the training plan, but you can also run phishing simulations standalone. So we're able to identify knowledge gaps even before assigning any trainings. So this is a very strong way for organizations to gauge where they are. So what they do is they create the campaign and push it out to the users first, and then we gauge response and use that information to decide where are these users in terms of knowledge level. And then I could put them in certain groups, then test the employees' practical skills in avoiding phishing attacks during the main course training. So all of these 3 are the main offerings of ASAP. Now, ASAP leverages on something we call the common concept of the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. And it uses this methodology to focus on the specifics of human memory. So why do we forget? Why do we tend to forget things quickly? How can I start from 100% knowledge level and find myself at 20% over time? Now, this is very easy for me. I remember when I started off my tech journey many years back, I used to try to learn everything. So I'll do HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then I would hop onto another concept, and then I would hop onto another concept. But the truth is, I was never really retaining any knowledge. Now, at that time, if you'd ask me maybe certain questions in week one, solid, I'll give you all the answers. But by like week 3, without any practice, without any constant engagement, I've already forgotten everything. And this is the standard for pretty much everybody. Unless you have photographic memory, then this doesn't apply to you. But for some people, for a lot of us, we would forget over time. All right. And this is what Hermann Ebbinghaus was trying to figure out, the logic behind it. Why? And so we've used that logic and somewhat re-engineered it to say, instead, how do we make the knowledge stick? And so we are able to understand that within the human mind, repetition forms or builds like safe habits, and it helps us to prevent forgetting. And if we're being reinforced or reminded about something, it tends to stick. If I'm owing you, or if I'm owing you money, and you don't remind me, there's a slim chance that I might forget. But if you keep reminding me that I'm owing you money, I'm not going to forget that I'm owing you money. And we need to apply that same concept when passing the message of awareness. And we're able to achieve this just using the platform here. So the platform will start from the interactive lessons. And then after some days, initiate the reinforcement email or case study. And then after some time, we have the test. All of these bits will be playing their role in reinforcement. And then after some time, a simulated phishing attack. And then after that, when the user has successfully not interacted with the phishing mail, would we move on to the next topic? When we complete that next topic, concepts around the next topic, we then move on to the next level. And this is how the platform automates this whole process for us. You don't have to do any of these things manually. You don't have to write any reinforcement mails or schedule any tests. The platform does all of this automatically for us. Now, there's the training groups, and this is just to show what the training groups look like. We can decide if we're running the main course or an express course or a combination of both. We decide on the topics we want to assign to that training group. We assign the intensity per week. How intense? Do we want the users to study just 10 hours, that's no hours, 10 minutes per week? Do we want them to do 20 minutes per week, 30 minutes per week, or as much as possible? What is the minimum pass score? So because the platform has tests as well, when the users run the tests, what score is valid for a pass for them? And so if you stick with, say, 80%, they have to score 80% to pass. And if you're a bit more aggressive, you could go as high as 95% even, and say anyone below 95% fails. It's a perfection or nothing. So there's a bunch of topics with different levels as stated. You see the topic side, and then you find the levels from beginner, elementary, intermediate, and advanced. And then we take it on from there. Once you decide the topics you want to work with, the platform handles the rest in terms of creating creates like a 6 to 12 month training plan. And all you have to do from the administrative side is just monitor user progress. The platform gives you that one page to do that. So this is what the Express course looks like. It's 13 major security topics. We have the theory slides. You have the material available for repetition. You have the tests and then the simulated phishing attacks as a part of the main course. And it's available in multiple languages as well, just for convenience. And the thing is, the platform also supports multi-tenancy. And so sometimes we have the organization might have some entity in another region, right? And they still want to provide awareness to them, but maybe they speak French. Maybe it's French speaking. The platform is available in French as well, so we can have even a separate tenant for that entity and have them in just French language from the administrative side to the end user side, or you could manage everything centrally from your side and just have the user select the language when they receive the plans. Now, what are these topics available? We have emails, passwords and accounts, websites and the internet, social media and messengers, PC security, mobile devices, confidential data, personal data, GDPR, physical data security, industrial cybersecurity, bank card security and PCI DSS, and artificial intelligence and neural networks. So, very important concept for us, and it also shows how we are constantly making the necessary changes where required, updating our content where required. Now, in the past, maybe there wasn't a lot of focus on industrial cybersecurity, but ultimately we're seeing a rise in terms of the threats being faced by the OT space or the ICS guys. And you'd find that they also are starting to need dedicated awareness tailored for their environment. And we're able to provide that here. Now, we've added that topic. We see the use of cards, the PAN card security, PCI DSS. We've added that topic as well. And also with the rise of AI and neural networks, we've also provided content in that light as well. And this is very important because you see the things like, say, in the past, you would see, if you see someone telling you to provide access now, and you see someone telling you, you see some spelling errors, punctuation errors, some grammatical errors, this is an indication of a phishing mail. This is true, but sometimes people take it as this is the only indication of a phishing mail, and it's quite unfortunate, right? Because now we're having phishing mails written by neural networks. They don't necessarily adhere to these concepts of old strictly, so you maybe find things like this, for example, this, we need access in the next 48 hours. And it's well written. There's no sense of real urgency, and a lot of people fall for it. We even have cases of people submitting company confidential data onto like these AI platforms for analysis and things like that. There's dangers here, so we need to inform our users as well. So we're updating our content where necessary, and these are the topics that we have available. Now we also have the express courses. So there's 20 major security topics within the express courses, several small lessons, different languages are available, the interactive theory, audio, video format, the videos, and the tests. So there's a bunch of topics, as you'd see on screen, even things around cryptocurrency security, doxing, supply chain attacks, attacks on top managers and on behalf of top managers. So whaling and the impacts of whaling, information security in healthcare, even, there's some really nice express courses that could be very useful. Then this is what it looks like from the express course side. And then there's the phishing attack simulation. Now on the phishing side, we have three main scenarios: the standard scenario, a 404 error, and the custom phishing page. So the standard scenario is users are shown a page informing them that they clicked on the phishing link. There's also the scenario of the 404 where it just returns a 404 error page. Now, we do strongly recommend this because it helps to give a truer representation of things. If I were to use a standard scenario, for example, and user A sees that's right, this is a phishing link and phishing mail, very high likelihood that user A will communicate to all other users within the organization that there is a campaign ongoing. And so users may not click, and this doesn't give us a true representation of things. However, if we opt for a 404 one, the 404 error will seem like it's some server downtime, and it can help us to foster more participation as the users they're less likely to inform the other users within the organization that the campaign has started. And then there's the custom phishing page, where the page specified will be shown to the users. This is, you specify a page, you manage the page on your side, and this could be like a form to gather user information, and you see who actually imputes that data, but you will manage that custom page. Flexible configuration, you can also randomly randomize the email delivery. So a user could receive their email now, the next user could receive his own email in the next 3 hours. So something a bit random, right? We're able to achieve that with the platform, and also able to send using custom domain names. So the platform does allow us to achieve this. Everything the admin needs is available on one page, from adding users to starting training groups to even viewing the reports, who needs your attention, who is behind schedule, significantly behind schedule, on track, ahead of schedule. We see all of that. How many training slots do we have? What is the progress like? The current knowledge level in the group, the target knowledge level within the group. We have that access from the admin side. Now, this is what the phishing emails would look like. There's many phishing templates that we have out of the box with the product, and you're also able to customize as you see fit. And yeah, this is mainly the information around how Kaspersky is able to assist from the awareness perspective via the Kaspersky Automated Security Awareness Platform. As the Exxon team mentioned, we're happy to conduct POCs, happy to even give you like a free trial demo, have sessions with you so you see what the platform looks like, things like that we're able to achieve. So yeah, thank you very much for your time. That's it from my side. Let's be aware and let's stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Benjamin, for that. So we have questions that we like for you to address, and also I'll be sharing again my screen for the QR code to be shown. So if you have you want to do a demo, you want to see the proof of value of this platform, you can book a POV. Let me share my screen so you can see that.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So, I will unmute everyone's mic so you can directly ask your questions and ensure it is properly attended to. Thank you very much.
So I think Mr. Olaliko asked a question on some things. This, I don't know, Benjamin, you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello?
So you can now unmute our mics and ask our questions. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I see a chat in the question Q&A. Yeah, does Kaspersky platform have any solution to simulate, test, and track user behavior and action? So in terms of the user behavior and action, we can show you, for example, if you start a phishing campaign, if you run that phishing campaign, we can show you who clicked, who accessed the QR code, show you like failure rates and the like. That is within ASAP, considering that it's not agent based and you're not really deploying any agents on the host. So maybe, we can't really give you more insights, but we can tell you if the user clicked, we can tell you if they accessed the QR code, we can tell you what they did pretty much. But that's the best you'd get. And then we give you the report as well. Just to answer, I saw a question from Linda in the chat Q&A. Okay, please feel free to unmute your mics as well. I recommend raising the hand first so we can track because it shows whose hands were up first. and then we can take questions, take turns on mute, and then ask. Yes, I see a question from Leonard. Please feel free to unmute and ask.
How's the baby?
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
My question is on. Yes, you have shown us several things, several features that Kaspersky awareness platform has. But does it have artificial intelligence defense agents that someone can use to do a lot of things, creating simulation, and it will do it automatically without even the admin's much intervention? Does it have such features? And I want you to trace more on your last response in terms of getting logs. I don't know whether you said the user must have an agent. Is it not agentless?
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. So maybe we'll start work backwards. On the previous point, no, we did not say the user required an agent. We said there is no agent, so we can't tell you what the user is doing on their host. The question was around like let me just check the question again. The question was around like tracking the user behavior. And we can't track user behavior on their host. What we can tell you is they clicked on it, they accessed or they used the QR code or something. That's what we will tell you, which in its own is already a gap. So that's what the platform will do because it is agentless. We can't go further to tell you what else the user is doing on their host. On your question about automating the phishing, yes, I did mention that as a part of the phishing like a training main course when you run like the training plan, the 6 to 12 month plan that you can prep with the platform. It will actually conduct phishing simulations as a part of it and give you insight on who clicked and who didn't click without you having to start it. There's also the option for you to start the campaign manually if this is something you want to do. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Next hand is Olaoluwa. Please feel free to unmute.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Right. So my question is, how do you make less of the phishing simulation and what kind of report can we provide when we don't do the phishing?
Okay, so you said how can you make use of the phishing simulation? Okay, so to make use of the phishing simulator standalone, right? It's really straightforward. You start the campaign, like you just start the campaign. Select the users that you want to include to the campaign. These will be users that are already onboarded, like they're already on your platform. You've brought them onto, you've imported them to the platform. So you decide which of them do you want to run the simulation on. The next would be to decide the script. And the script is, do you want it to return a page when the users click on the button stating that, right, you clicked on the phishing link? Or do you want it to report a 404 error, right? So there is no visibility to for the users, there's no way for them to know that they've been phished from the platform anyways. So it returns a 404 error, and then you decide, do you want to randomize the delivery? Do you want to say some users may receive now and then some users may receive later? The platform can help us to achieve that. So you decide those bits when you're deciding on the training plan, or rather the phishing simulator. And then when you're done, the campaign will start. And so ultimately what we will then see is how many people, like from the reporting side anyways, how many people do we have as a part of the campaign? How many emails have been sent? How many people clicked? How many people opened attachments? How many people opened or accessed the QR code? What was the failure rate? Emails that were started, finished, just some general statistics, and we can drill down to the exact users. So we see which user clicked, which users did not click, and then we have the overall failure rate on the phishing campaign. Okay. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Then a hand from Chukwepuka. Please feel free to unmute your mic.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for the presentation. It was really top-notch.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So just a few comments from my side. I think Kaspersky, I really give them kudos on what they have built actually, because I've used it. We've used it for quite some time, and I mean their deep intels and threat intelligence, both their behavior. I mean, I really give them kudos on that. So then coming down to what we just presented. So I have two questions basically. One, in terms of that simulating a phishing attack, maybe for your employees or something like that. Yeah. So will it require the IT admin configuring the mail server to be able to accommodate that? Because I've noticed, I've used a couple of them, which, trying to do a phishing simulation on the employees, then you discover that at the end of the day, when you send process the whole stuff, it just goes to the mail, to the spam mail, instead of going to the inbox, which will show you that you actually have to go and do some configuration on this mail server to be able to accommodate them as legit. So that's one. So the second one is, how is the management report like? So if I am done simulating the whole phishing attack, then of course I will probably need something like does it have a managerial report that it can generate in case maybe you want to maybe have a management meeting you done? So management is always about the figures and the numbers. So like they just only just about progress. So does it have more like a report that can present in a managerial state? I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah, no, I completely understand, sir. So yeah, thank you very much. So we again work backwards, take the last question first. So thank you very much for your Kaspersky patronage, and it's really great for us to hear that your experience so far has been great. So on your question, the reporting side, there's two types of reports available on the platform. One is the main, just like a standard report. Now, this one is an Excel document. It's really granular. But as you said, you're looking for something for management. And then this has led us into creating an effectiveness report. Now, the effectiveness report is more graph based. It's the more visually appealing one for the presentations. You can see like levels, just some statistics, high level overview, rather than drilling deep into the exact users, because management doesn't need to know who the exact user is. Maybe HR might need that piece of information. So there's a report that we can have for them. And then for management, we can have the effectiveness report, and that would be more visually appealing. So yes, those two reporting options are available. And on the first question around like the blocks, before we start any like POCs or anything, what we typically try to do is we run a prerequisite where we send you what needs to be whitelisted on your site. And this is very important, right? Because whilst the technologies are in place to do these things, they will typically block them. But the technologies blocking the campaign doesn't help us achieve our objective. And so we own the domains. These are Kaspersky owned domains. The IP addresses are Kaspersky owned IP addresses. So there is nothing to fear. So we send it as a prerequisite to have them whitelisted first, so that we don't have any blocks when we start to run those campaigns. Not like a lot of systems don't block them. We've done POCs even in this region here, and the mail still land. But for us, it's very important that we create this ideal situation for the POC to be successful. And so as a part of the prerequisites, we will share a list of domains and IPs to be whitelisted. And once that is done, we can run smoothly. But yes, in some cases, some work needs to be done on the admin side, just on the mail gateway side, and maybe on the firewall, just to ensure that there's like communications. Did that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, yes, I understood. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a question on the chat. Is this solution entirely web-based? Plus, do we need any configurations on our domain and so as to run campaigns on emails within our domain? Okay, yeah, great question. Great question here. It is web-based. It's a SaaS offering by default, right? So it's like you log into asap.kaspersky.com and you're good to go. However, we have it available on premise if required, right? So maybe due to some data sovereignty, like conversations, there's the need to have it on premise. We have that option. But it's going to be a whole deployment process, but it can be done. We like theoretically on my side would just prefer you go for the cloud option, the SaaS offering, the most straightforward one. And is there any configurations to be done on your domain end? Well, yes. So when you want to start a phishing campaign, there's two things that can happen. One is the users are already a part of the training plan or training group. If the users are a part of the training group and they have started the trainings, you don't need any other work to be done. You can send without any issues. However, if the users haven't accepted, say it's your first time bringing users onto the platform and you want to initiate the campaign immediately, what you have to do is we need to prove that you own that domain, right? This is so that attackers can't use our platform to actually start to roll out phishing campaigns to using our own domains to random users in random organizations that they shouldn't be able to mail, right? So we run something, or we need to verify that domain, and we do that by generating a TXT record on the ASAP platform. Now you copy this TXT record and you add this TXT record on the DNS side. Once that is done, it takes some time just to verify the domain. And once the domain is verified, we know that you own that domain, and now you can start to roll out campaigns to that domain as you wish. Users belonging to that domain as you wish. Did that answer your question, Olalika? Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you all very much. I think there's no other questions. Handing the mic back to Christiana and team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ben. Thank you so very much for every insight you've given. So, like I was saying, the QR code is on the screen right now. And if you want to have a 30 days free trial on this, a POV, to know how valuable this is to your organization, you can scan the QR code and book a consultation with us. We'll be following you steps by step on how you can gain more and understand the platform. It's an interesting platform. I have people already doing POVs, and I can say I'm even learning at my own end. That is a very interesting platform. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Benjamin and Kaspersky team. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Excellent Solutions. Thank you, everybody. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Do have a lovely day, and I hope we get to do more POVs with you guys. Thank you so much.